Good evening, good day. I wanted us this episode to take it back to the beginning where we first mentioned um, the verse where it talks about how love is this and love is that, love is patient, love is kind, love doesn't hold no record of wrongdoing, and so on and so forth. Do I have that verse memorized? No. But it will be in the bio if you need that. I wanted to touch bases on that verse and to take us back to that verse because the last couple of days there's been some delays and things that I have going on. And while I know that this season is, of course, with the planets moving backwards and whatnot, I do expect delay in communication. But one other thing that it has taught me would be to say that what we've been learning this month about love and how it is and is not these things, I wanted to dwell back on one in particular where it mentions how love is patient. And I want to say the last couple of days when I ran into a couple of delays, I was then met with people who communicated said delays. So I was able to extend grace because I understand life happens and not everything could be so black and white, on time and, in order and stuff like that. I get that, right? So what made me check my heart though, because just yesterday and I think the day prior, we were checking our hearts in regards to where we're at with this progress and process. I did need to check my heart to say, well, am I giving this same grace to everyone who even what I believe worthy of it? If I'm supposed to be representing love to its fullest extent, then who am I to even decide who gets that grace, who gets to receive patience from me, Because it has been times recently that I just completely didn't have any patience because I'm just like, well, I didn't even get, nobody communicated with me, so I'm out of here, Like, if we are supposed to meet at a certain time, and you cannot meet at that time, or something happened to where you just are running behind out of just common courtesy and how I was raised, it is just a sign of respect to let someone know that you'll be running behind or you won't make it, right? And so while I and others may view it that way, I have to still extend grace to those who may not have been raised, who may not have that understanding, who just flat out don't even consider people in that light. I still have to extend that grace and I still have to be patient with them, because if I am representing God, how are they even to know what God looks like if I'm not even being the proper example? If I'm not even showing them the extension of God, which is love, which is patience, which is kindness, with all these things that love is and does not. So with that, I realized that there has been a couple of bridges that I've completely just burned because of that, because I didn't have any patience to deal with people who I thought were not respecting my time. So then it goes a bit deeper where I'm like, man, whew, I must have really loved the men I used to date, or, the guys that I would come across, because they received way more patience than anybody could ever deserve, right? They have been extended all the grace in the world and then some. Because let's not forget about the times that where our friends and loved ones have told us that this person may not be good for us in X, Y, and Z, and we're going to the point of defending, right? Grace and patience beyond measure at this point. And I just think about that where I'm like, if God doesn't have favorites, why do I? Why do I get to pick and choose? Why should I feel that I'm special enough to pick and choose who gets it and who doesn't? I'm not no one. I am no one to have that even not on the decision, but just the thought. Like, I myself have no idea if I'm as chosen as everyone has sought out to be. I'm just grateful just to be here, to be used, to be considered. So I'm only merely a vessel, right? And even during our studies tonight, we spoke about the love we may extend to someone may help them out of their situation, may get them to their purpose, And it just made me think about it even deeper to say, like, we never truly have the fullest of understanding as to why we are to do certain things or to present ourselves a certain way or to show up in a light that we may not even see to be a light, We are asked to do things without the fullest scope of the reasoning, and yet we still are required to show up and be obedient. These are requirements. We are required to be love, to give love, to show others, really what love is, who love is. And so I've been pondering on that today, and I'm not going to even be the person that's going to pray for patience, because I don't need any more examples of what it is like to show and give patience. I don't need no example. Every time you ask for something, they give you a workbook. You got to complete it. I don't want that. I know what areas I need to work on, right? I know it is patience that I need to extend to others, even outside of what I deem is acceptable to receive. And so the only thing I can truly pray for in this moment is to continue to show me love. Continue to be I pray that I have more examples around me of what patience and love looks like, so I can be the proper example. My prayer is that the ones that are already in my path and in my life, or even on my way throughout the next phase and chapter, I pray to have more examples of what love really truly looks like. And with the examples I'm given, with the knowledge that I have, I know that those two together will just completely jolt me into this person, this woman of God, this just lover that I truly am. I don't want to just say it. I want to be it. I want to act like it. I want it to be in my walk. I want to speak with love, present myself as love, all things love. And is this ever going to be perfect? No. But that's why I'm praying to have the examples around me. And if there already have been examples around me, I ask that it's amplified, like love is also being corrected. So I want that correction as well to let me know, hey, that's not what it looks like. You're not being nice. And so yeah, today's episode was just a reflection of what we first mentioned in the beginning about what love is and is not. Because when I come down to evaluate my heart on this day, we've been doing this for quite some time. I just wanted to do a check-in and see where I'm at with this love. Where has it impacted me? Where are the things that I'm still needing to work on? What have I improved with, right? And these checkups are necessary. It's the progress report. So I hope you all are doing the same. Yeah. Until next time.